wollen wir. Aber diese ununterbrochene Entrückung lehnen wir ab. Und die Entbehrung ertragen wir nicht. Bei Diktaten wirken wir nicht mit. Wir mögen ein Diktat und noch oktroyieren.
There can be no peace in the world until the military power of Japan is destroyed, with the same completeness as was the power of the European dictators. To do that, we are now engaged in a process of deploying millions of our armed forces against Japan in a mass movement of troops and supplies and weapons over 14,000 miles, a military and naval feat unequaled in all history. Substantial portions of Japan's key industrial centers have been leveled to the ground in a series of record incendiary raids. What has already happened to Tokyo will happen to every Japanese city whose industries feed the Japanese war machine. If the Japanese insist on continuing resistance beyond the point of reason, their country will suffer the same destruction as Germany. Our blows will destroy their whole modern industrial plant and organization, which they have built up during the past century and which they are now devoting to a hopeless cause. We have no desire or intention to destroy or enslave the Japanese people, but only surrender can prevent the kind of ruin which they have seen come to Germany as a result of continued useless resistance.
Looking back now, do you think that our country's use of the bomb was necessary?
I believe that the view which I learned from many, but above all from General Marshall and from Colonel Stimson, the Secretary of War, the view that they had, that we would have to fight our way to the main islands, and that it would involve a slaughter of Americans and Japanese on a massive scale, was arrived at by them in good faith, with regret, and on the best evidence that they then had. To that alternative, I think the bomb was an enormous relief. The war had started in '39. It had seen the death of tens of millions. It had seen brutality and degradation which had no place in the middle of the 20th century. And the ending of the war by this means was certainly cruel, was not undertaken lightly. But I am not, as of today, confident that a better course was then open. I have not a very good answer to this question.
Dr. Oppenheimer, nevertheless, with all the rationalization, with all the inevitability of the decision that history demonstrates to us, you and many like you who brought the bomb into being still seem to suffer, may I say, from a bad conscience about it. Is that true, sir?
Well, I don't want to speak for others because we're all different. I think when you play a meaningful part in bringing about the death of over 100,000 people and the injury of a comparable number, you naturally don't think of that as with ease. I believe we had a great cause to do this, but I do not think that our consciences should be entirely easy at stepping out of the part of studying nature, learning the truth about it, to change the course of human history.
How would you like to be remembered?
Oh, I've been asked that before.
I'm sure.
I did what I was told to do, and I was damn proud of it.
Absolutely no regrets.
No regrets, whatever. I've never lost a night's sleep. I've never lost 15 minutes sleep. This was war. I didn't carry the war with me. I didn't start the war. I had a job to do during wartime, and nothing personal entered into that. I was going to do what I was told to do.
ご苦労様。いや、マリア様映してくれ。あなたたちだけよ。原爆の。
あ、そう岩永さんがだから当時9歳で。
9歳の時のね。8月9日、要するに原爆の時はね、姉と、母と3人で、本当に朝はね、真っ青かったの、真っ青。雲一つない真っ青な天気のいい日で、畑仕事に行くということで、母と3人で行きましたね。で、そこを通ってる時に、2人の兵隊がね、下の方から兵舎がちょっと小高い山の上に前町っていうんですけど、そこにあったんですね。 でそこの方に帰っていく途中でこう指さしながらね「あれは日本のじゃなか」って言ったんですよ、指さして。その瞬間でしたね。その瞬間もう瞬間、ほんと瞬間パーッともう目の前とにかくなんていうかもう太陽が落ちたみたいな、もう何とも言えないその衝撃、ですね。衝撃って言っていいのかな。もうとにかく太陽が落ちたような閃光っていうんですかね。でもその時自分がね死んだと思いましたね。やられた本当意識しました。
どんな
一番記憶には深く残る大岩さんのようにね、顔がわーっとこう痛くなって腫れたんですよ。なんだろうって言って、そして腫れてね、で今でも残ってるかもしれない。そしてやっぱり髪の毛もね、なんか知らんこうついてくるなっていう思いもありました。歯茎からもね、なんだかこうなんか知らん血が出るなって。だけどそれが原爆の関係があるとかそんなことは思いませんでしたね。要するに今核を使うとか使わないとか、そして抑止的に持っとった方がいいとかなんとかね、そういう機運がある時に少しでも私たちの苦悩が役に立てばね、言い続けたいね。こういうことがありますよ。このことはね、決してね二度と起こしてはいけない。
The atomic bomb is like a big shame.
Where from?
I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, United States.
Atomic bomb?
Yes.
Japan was dropped by America.
Yes.
What do you think about it?
Okay, part of my trip here, I went to Hiroshima because my grandfather was a pilot in World War II. He bombed Tokyo. I felt it was important for me to go and pay my respects. For me, the atomic bomb is like a big shame for my country. I know a lot of Americans don't agree with me. They justify it with a lot of different reasons. But for me, it's a huge shame. And that's one reason why I went to Hiroshima, was to pay my respects at the shrine, especially since my grandfather bombed this city. You know, he was a pilot with the B-29s. He firebombed Tokyo more than once. For me, it was important for me to go, to pay my respects as, you know, a member of his family. It doesn't make up for anything. It doesn't make up for the...
If I was Japanese today, and I'll be honest with you, I would hate America. I would hate anything to do with Americans. Dropping a nuclear bomb twice is a little bit too much. Even Oppenheimer himself, the guy who invented it, thinks the same.
Hiroshima was far more costly in life and suffering and inhumane than it needed to have been.
But here is what surprised me. I went around Hiroshima and Nagasaki looking for people who hate America, and I couldn't find any. I even asked nuclear attack survivors. This is what they said. Do you hate America?
No, yes. It's very difficult. I hate the leaders at the time who decided to drop atom bombs. But I don't hate the ordinary Americans.
They don't hate because, according to them, and this is important, peace does not flow from hate. And peace is what they want. The Hiroshima Peace Museum. The name says a lot about the Japanese. We can't forget our past, but we should not continue the tragedy and the hate and the anger. Inside this museum, I could not stop tearing up. Tears of sadness, but also tears of joy. Joy at how far we have come in just one generation. Today, the US and Japan have the best relations ever. Trade, tourism, and culture. Even the US President Obama came to Hiroshima to call for peace.
The United States and Japan forged not only an alliance, but a friendship that has won far more for our people than we could ever claim through war.
But today, we still don't have peace.
Бросай, братан! Я своих полетов! Борс, ложись в яму, блядь! Що у нього, братан?
Руки, ноги. Связь, машина не їде, блядь. Машина не їде, блядь.
Піро на зв'язку, борт важкий 300. М-ка не їде, там щось наїбнулось. Ну, вся історія. Пожалуйста. Мороз 300?
А?
Мороз 300?
Да. А то теж 300?
Хто ще?
Сука.
Хто ще 300?
Мороз 300, лисий 300. Пацани, давайте двигать. Ти перетягнув?
Він все, ну, у нього всі кінцівки, братан.
Всі кінцівки перебиті?
Так.
Знімай броню. Знімай броню, понесе. Залізеш на мене, понесу.
Що там? Що там?
Все, нога, блядь, пацани. Все.
Ага.
Не, я все, братан. Я все. Братан, не поповзу.
Повзеш! Лисий поповз! Мороз поповз, і ти поповзеш! Давай! Бінтуй!
А у мене перелом.
Так, я погнав. Через за тобою.
Давай, Гектор, пожалуйста.
Давай, друг.
Спокійно. Не здумай тільки взривати себе. Поняв?
Бронь. Іди звідси.
Гектор, давай.
Божик, я йду до тебе. Блядь, не дадуть мене напройти, братик. Не тут похуяли.